Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I get a lot of questions about finances. I get a lot of questions of what's going to happen today financially. And we are truly in a mess. So if you follow what's happening daily, you'll definitely be on that yo-yo. I will assure you that the system is crashing, the system is falling apart, and there's really no hope for it. It will be just more of a decline. So, you need to just keep preparing and not rely on this Federal Reserve note, because eventually that Federal Reserve note is going to be worthless, and that's proven over history. Anytime they come up with a fiat currency, it does not last, and you don't want to be in a position where you're counting on this to sustain yourself. Now, the way the system's set up, as Americans, we sort of are. You got to make money to pay your bills, to pay taxes, but I'm urging you to get away from that, and that will be more of, can you produce something? So you could trade to someone. If you have chickens, you have eggs. Everyone needs eggs. Or you might be a carpenter. Can you trade skills for something? So start looking at the alternative economy that you can build in your area, and that will be bartering. So people ask me, Dave, what do I put my money in? A lot of people at this point do not have extra money. I talk to them and they're struggling just to pay the mortgage or the rent or their car payment or put gas in the car or take care of daycare. So for a lot of people, they don't have a lot of extra money to throw around. They're just trying to survive. So if you're trying to survive, put back the basics. Don't worry about gold and silver. I get that question a lot. And to be honest with you, I have not bought any silver in a long time. I bought a few ounces here and there, but really I haven't made any, like 20 or 30 ounces at a time purchases of silver. And some of you are saying, Dave, 20 or 30, that's nothing. I'm not a big silver and gold guy. And for the record, I don't own any gold other than jewelry, wedding rings, and stuff like that. I don't own gold. Should I? Probably, but it's just not in the cards. I'm a more hands-on type of guy. I want something practical. So let's talk about silver, because I get these questions. And people ask me, Dave, who do you recommend me go buy my gold and silver from? And I tell people, I don't know. That's an honest answer. I haven't bought in a while, and so it's like, I have no recommendations for you. I'm truly sorry. I would love to find someone that's reputable, that delivers a good product, and if I did, I would come on here and share that information with you. And that's what, if I shared it, it'd be someone that I bought from. I don't like to tell you what to do. I tell you what I'm doing. You take what you find that I'm doing is applicable to your life. There's people out there that can't even think about gold and silver at this point. You're thinking about survival, just getting by every day, paying your bills. And then there's other people that call me and say, Dave, I got rid of an investment. I got $20,000. I got $40,000. What do I do with it? And that's a good problem to have. And people have that problem because they're reshuffling their finances because they see that this little thing one day is going to be worth it. One day you could use it for toilet paper. One day you could use it to start a fire in your fireplace. I honestly, truly believe that. But until that point, we got to make these so we can set ourselves up for success and make sure we're all prepared. So let's talk about gold. I borrowed this from a friend. I have no gold, so it's what I'm doing. For you, you might have the available cash and thinking, hey, I need to put it in the gold. I'm a silver guy, and the only reason I have silver is to protect some of my wealth, but really it is to pay my property taxes for many years. That way, if the economy gets really bad and I don't have these to go give the tax man, I can take some of the silver, try to find someone that would like it, which I probably will have no problem doing, sell that silver, get some Federal Reserve notes, and go pay my taxes. That's the main purpose I have to have silver. I don't have any gold. I borrowed that from a buddy. I'm a little nervous though having that. Luckily he trusts me to death. But that is 1 ounce of gold. So it's worth what? A little less than $2,000 bucks. Just say $2,000. This I borrowed. Unbelievable. I couldn't bug out with these things. So don't think of buying in 100 ounce of silver. It's like, what is it? over 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds roughly. That thing is heavy. So it's, let's just say 26 bucks an ounce. I don't know what it is this morning. So that's like 2,600 bucks. This is like 2,000 bucks. So if you're knowing you're going to have to bug out, you're in the city or the suburbs, don't buy a bunch of these. They're way too heavy. You can't. You might want to go with the gold. The problem with the gold is you need like $2,000 right away to buy one of these. So my recommendation is to buy 1 ounce silver. These are the Silver Liberties. I love them because every year the new one comes out, they change the date. My dad gives all of us, well, more now it's just the grandkids, but he used to give us, like on birthdays or Christmas, silver. So that builds up after a while. So maybe start that as a tradition in your family, giving the little guys and gals a piece of silver. That way they'll start building their true wealth. So this is what I recommend to people. The reason is it's so ornate, it's very hard to fake this and get a counterfeit. This big old bar, you got to buy them from a reputable business. They are stamped, but still, this is a lot easier to fake the funk, and you buy a counterfeit or maybe a silver plated. I'm not a silver expert, but be very careful when you buy a big old chunk, and it's just heavy. I'll be glad to give this thing back to him. So this is what I recommend. Now, I also recommend, this is 64 quarter. This is change in the old days. A lot of you guys, people had silver in your pockets and you carried them around and you spent it. This is what we call junk silver. And the value is the value of the silver inside it. Now, they're not all 100% silver, but you can see what they are. If you go from dimes and quarters, you can tell how much silver. So that's junk silver. So I recommend having some junk silver, because if the economy turns bad and there's an alternative economy, we'll probably go back to this. And this is what you use to buy, you know, a pound of meat, a chicken, you know, a pound of nails. This is what you need. You need junk silver. This could work, but it has such a value where you might need a few chickens to make the deal work out. This, you're not going to use this. This is to, like, say, hey, you want to purchase a tractor from someone, or you want to purchase an acre of land from someone. You know, big chunks of gold or big chunks of silver can buy those things. This is not for everyday going down and trying to find some food. It would be junk silver or maybe 1 ounce silver. This is a 10 ounce bar. So, you know, this is something that you could maybe in the future buy a rifle or buy some ammo, something in $300, $400, $500 value. This is something that would work out for that. So, do I recommend you having gold or silver? I recommend having tangible items like nails. Ammunition's a great investment. Walmart, less than $22 for a box of 22 long rifles. This year I went heavily into that because, you know, before that they were very hard to find during COVID. Everything was hard to find during COVID. So my philosophy is I would rather buy lead and brass than gold and silver. I want something tangible, especially on the hardware side. A lot of people live in an apartment, and you don't need hardware. I understand that. You say, Dave, I call a maintenance man. He'll come fix anything that breaks in the apartment. So I don't need to store anything, and that's rightfully so. If you're in an apartment, you don't need 500 pounds of different nails and screws. You just don't need it, especially if you know you're going to bug out. There's no way to carry this. You might be more inclined to go with this as an investment. Now, in a worst case event, you show up here with this and food is in really short supply, you're going to have to give me a lot of this shiny stuff to get this if I have a limited amount of food in my house. Now, if I have a field full of corn that I can pick, I'm more inclined to get your silver from you for something that is readily I can make more of. That year or the next year I can make a lot more of it. But if it's something that is really in short supply, be it ammunition, will I trade ammunition for silver or gold to someone I don't know? Probably not. I would definitely do it to people I know, But the problem is the people I know and I associate are heavily into all this stuff. So they probably won't need to trade anything for me. So I'm in the tangibles. There's no reason, if you're not in a small apartment or knowing you have to bug out, that you don't have 10-year supply of shampoo. I have a 20-year supply of shampoo. I'm still working on that. You know why? Because I bought it when it was cheap. Now, granted, this is VO5. Some of you ladies are like, man, that's junk shampoo. For guys, anything that suds up for me is good. VO5. Years and years and years ago, it was 79 cents all day long, and then they always have a 25-cent coupon. They sometimes had it on sale for 49 cents. Now, I'm talking 10, 12, 15 years ago. So that was the time to stock up. I don't know what they sell now for because I don't have to buy any probably for another 10 more years. But buy stuff. If you're saying, Dave, I want to invest in this, but you don't have 10 years of this, I'd rather you have 10 years of shampoo, of soap, of laundry soap, of everything you're going to need in your life. Now, granted, if you're in an apartment or you know you'll be moving in 6 months, yeah, don't stock up on this. But if you're in a safe place, I would rather your cupboards overflowing with this because this has value. One day, people might say, man, I need to eat, and this thing is not that tasty. So you might have a trouble at the beginning of a problem trading this for this, especially if you can't go to the store and get this. Not many people are going to want this unless they have a surplus of this. Now, I know people that put back a lot, and they will be able to trade for this because it won't hurt their survival. But if your survival is counting on you having all these cans of chicken and food for your family, it's going to be very hard for you to give up this to get one of these. So remember that at the beginning of a problem. Now, as the problem gets stabilized, silver and gold are going to come back in because people are going to be trying to buy things, and if people don't need that food to feed their family, they're going to take your silver. So that's my philosophy on gold and silver. I have silver for paying the property taxes and a little bit of wealth preservation, but basically I'm into having things to get the task done. Now, some of you probably have gotten some of this out of the bank with the bank problems. Be careful. First of all, what happens if things crash so quickly? You have a stack of these, but no one wants them. So be ready to move quickly to buy tangible things with this, or this thing could start losing value and you need to spend it. There's countries that used to, when people got paid, they left work immediately to go buy things. They didn't wait till the end of the day. Immediately, they get their pay, run to the store, spend that money and spend all of it. I was told in some countries, people said, if you had money and you didn't need what was for sale on the shelf, buy it anyways because you'll be able to trade that. It's better than going home with your worthless currency. So be careful, be able to move, have a list of things you know you need to buy, and take that money and quickly buy it. So that's my philosophy on gold and silver. I hope it's helpful. Tangibles are what I'm going with, things I can eat, work with, chew on, and keep life going on. Thanks for watching.